All right, fifth graders, we are continuing along here in uh, chapter 11. And this is the last lesson in chapter 11. And this is a problem solving one. So this is an assignment as we typically would do. We will do kind of together as a class. But I wanted to make a video with a couple of examples with similar problems as to what is going to show up on your chapter 11 review and test. So kind of wanted to help you out in that regard. But here we have our first story problem. We've got two examples today. You buy 1 pound of almonds, 7 ounces of peanuts, and 1/4 pound of cashews. How many ounces of nuts did you purchase? So the key is everything needs to get turned to ounces. Now you already know that you have 7 ounces of peanuts. So you don't need to do anything with that. That's already ounces. 1 pound of almonds. We should remember from our conversions that 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So this 1 pound, we should know that this is 16 ounces. So far, so good. The other thing we have to deal with is this 1/4 pound of cashews. Well, if I want to figure out what 1/4 of something is, remember there's two things I can do. I know that 16 ounces make a pound, but if I have 1/4 of a pound and I need to convert that to ounces, I can do 16 over 1 times 1 over 4. That's one thing I can do. Or remember from our rules of multiplying and dividing fractions, I can do 16 over 1 divided by 4 over 1. Because multiplying by something by 1 over 4 is the same as dividing it by 4 over 1. Because as we know, when I divide something by 4 over 1, I simply change the division to a multiplication, and I make the reciprocal of 4 over 1, which is 1 over 4. And then I all of a sudden have the same problem that I have here. So just kind of pointing that out. So let's actually go ahead and actually do this problem. We can cross-check by dividing by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Okay, so 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 over 1 equals 4. So 1/4 pound is 4 ounces. So I have 16 ounces of almonds, 7 ounces of peanuts, 4 ounces of cashews. How many ounces of nuts did we purchase? Well, we need to add those together. 16 plus 4. I believe that equals 20. And then we're going to add the 7 ounces of peanuts plus 7 equals 27 ounces of nuts are how many were purchased. Not hard. It's converting. But now it's doing it with story problems. All right, we've got one more that we need to check out. Billy pours water out of a filled 3-liter bottle. Now it only has 1,724 milliliters of water in it. How many milliliters of water did Nancy pour out? Well, I don't know why we said Nancy. That's weird. I was looking at another sheet that must have said Nancy. How many milliliters of water did Billy pour out? Well, first of all, Billy pours water out of a filled 3-liter bottle. Now it only has 1,724 milliliters of water in it. How many milliliters of water did Billy pour out? Well, then it sounds to me like the first thing we need to do is deal with this 3 liters and figure out how many milliliters that is. All right, so 3 liters is equivalent to how many milliliters? Well, remember the conversion with our metric units, okay? Since this is the milliliters, we have the milliliters, then the centiliters, and I'll go ahead and write that. Milliliters, centiliters, then we had the deciliters, okay? And then we've got the liters, okay? So one of these, it takes 10 of these to make one of these. So it makes 100 of these to make one of these. which means it takes 1,000 milliliters to make 1 liter. So once again, 10 milliliters to make 1 centiliter, 100 milliliters to make 1 deciliter, 1,000 milliliters to make 1 liter. But I have 3 liters. So my measurement is getting smaller. My number is getting bigger. I'm multiplying. And since it's 1,000 milliliters, that equals 1 liter. I'm multiplying by 1,000. So that tells me that 3 liters equals 3,000 milliliters. It tells me now it only has 1,724 milliliters of water left in it. So we're trying to figure out how much was poured out. Well, that sounds like a subtraction problem to me. Sounds like we're going to take 3,000 and we're going to subtract how much is left, which is 1,724 milliliters. And that's going to tell me how much Billy poured out. Well, I've got all these zeros. So borrowing from the 2, make that a 10. Borrow from that, make it a 9, make that a 10. Borrow from that, make that a 9, make that a 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 7 is 2.